Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Tuesday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Somebody asked me last night if I would do some more NASCAR videos, so tonight I'm going to do a NASCAR video. I try to do one of these every year before the season starts. Now, I know the official season is not till the Daytona 500, which is still 2 weeks away from this weekend on Valentine's weekend, but if they have it this weekend, Sunday is the Clash, which is the preseason race. So to me, it's NASCAR season. Good evening, Kevron. Glad to have you here. As always, Kevron, go Tigers. Thank you for stopping by the channel. I want to run down in numerical order each full-time driver in the Cup Series this year and who his crew chief is. Now, of course, we know at some races like Daytona, there'll be 8 or 9 drivers that try to make the field like always at Daytona, but I'm not going to talk about those drivers, just the 36 full-time drivers. A lot of them are the same as last year, but of course, there's always a few changes. And then one driver has the same crew chief, same sponsor, but he changed his car number. So we're going to talk about all of that. And a lot of these drivers are in contract years, so it might be the last year you see them in their current car, and I'll try to mention that as I go along as well. The one car, Ross Chastain, whose crew chief is Brandon McSwain, and if you're a long-time NASCAR fan, you might remember the name Fatback McSwain. He was the crew chief of Bobby Labonte back in the mid to late 90s, and Brandon McSwain is, I believe, his son, if I'm not mistaken. So he is now the crew chief of Ross Chastain. The 2 car is Austin Cindric, and his crew chief is Brian Wilson, not the Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, but the other Brian Wilson. Now, this is Austin Cindric's last year under contract in that 2 car, and unless he has an incredible year, I don't see him getting re-signed, especially since his dad is no longer a part of the Penske team behind the scenes. Outside of a couple of race wins, Austin Cindric's done nothing in that car. He looks good most of the time at Daytona and Talladega at restrictor plate races, but that's it. He's made the playoffs a couple times on the winning you're in format, which is gone now. But as far as consistent, he's never been. And, Penske's one of the best teams in NASCAR. I don't see him keeping around a guy that just doesn't seem to be any better. The 3 car we have Austin Dillon, and his crew chief is Richard Boswell. Good evening, Yasmin. I'm glad to have you here on this Tuesday night. Now, there's a rumor going around that this is going to be Austin Dillon's last year driving because he is the grandson of Richard Childress, who, of course, owns the team. And the rumor is after this year, Richard Childress is going to retire, and Austin Dillon is going to take over that organization. Hey there, Eric. Glad to have you here on this Tuesday night. And Eric, I think it's the first time I've seen your name in the comments section. If it is your first time being here for whatever reason made you stop by the channel tonight, thank you very much. Feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family all about the channel. The 4 car we have Noah Gragson, whose crew chief is Grant Hutchins. And the 5 car we have Kyle Larson, the defending Cup Series champion, coming off his 2nd career championship. Hey there, I'm just going to call you 9RD because you have a really long name. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Larson's crew chief is Cliff Daniels. Now, Believe it or not, this is the last year of Kyle Larson's contract with Hendrick. He has, as of yet, not re signed, but I would be stunned if he didn't re sign with them. He is the best driver in Hendrick, might even be the best driver in NASCAR right now, and I'd be stunned if he doesn't re sign with the best team, but so far he has not re signed with them. Hey there, Andrew. Glad to have you here. The six cars, Brad Keselowski, his crew chief is Jeremy Bullins. Now, he's going to miss the Clash this weekend because he broke his leg in a skiing accident, but he says he didn't break it skiing. He actually broke it after he skied. Getting back in his car, he slipped and fell and broke his leg, but everybody says skiing accident to make it sound like he broke it skiing. He says that is not what happened. It has been a minute, Andrew. I'm so glad you are back. Hey there, Haley. Glad to have you here. And then we have Daniel Suarez, who is driving this year in the 7 car for Spire Motorsports. His crew chief is Ryan Sparks. He only got a 1-year deal, and if he doesn't have a fantastic year, I don't think he'll get re signed. Suarez is one of those drivers that we keep hearing about all this potential, how good he is, but yet you just don't see it. And Spire's an up and coming team. They gave him a 1-year deal. If he doesn't do something impressive, he might not be back in the Cup Series next year. Hey there, Jack. Glad to have you here. And then we have Kyle Busch, whose crew chief this year is Jim Pullman. In the 8 car, Jim Pullman used to be Justin Allgaier's crew chief in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. This is Kyle Busch's last year under contract with Richard Childress Racing. If he doesn't have a fantastic year, I don't think he'll be back next year. Now, he'll be 41 in May, but I think he drives at least till he's 45. But I don't think he'll keep going out there and being non-competitive. And for the most part, with the exception of the first half of his first year in the 8 car, that car has just not been competitive. Then we have the 9 car of Chase Elliott. Of course, his crew chief is Alan Gustafson. Then we have Ty Dillon in the 10 car, whose crew chief is Andrew Dixon. And I've always thought that Ty's a better race car driver than his brother Austin, but Austin's always gotten the bigger breaks and gotten the ride with a better team and the better organization, but I think Ty's a better race car driver. 11 car, of course, Denny Hamlin. His crew chief is Chris Gale. And then we have the 12 car of Ryan Blaney, whose crew chief is Jonathan Hassler. Then we have the 16 car of AJ Pull My Finger, whose crew chief is Trent Owens. Andrew, it's going to be the Seahawks and the Patriots. And I talked about this in my video yesterday. I think the Seahawks win it only because the Patriots, sometimes their offense just vanishes and they struggle scoring 17 points. And I just don't think they're going to beat Seattle by scoring 14 to 17 points. So I think the Seahawks win it. 17 car of Chris Buescher, whose crew chief is Scott Graves. 19 car of Chase Briscoe, whose crew chief is James Small. 20 car Christopher Bale, whose crew chief is still Adam Stevens. 21 car Josh Berry, whose crew chief is Miles Stanley. And then we have the 1 car that everybody better watch out for this year. That's the 22 car of Joey Logano. His crew chief is Paul Wolf. And I say that because Logano's won 3 championships, and all 3 have been won in even-numbered years. And, of course, now we're in 2026. So look for Logano to compete for a championship this year. I don't know why it's that way, but for whatever reason, he struggles in odd-numbered years and even-numbered years. He's really good. He's got a brand-new look. This year he finally got smart and shaved his head, which I think suits him better. 23 car, Darrell Wallace Jr., better known as Bubba Wallace, whose crew chief is Charles Deneke, William Byron in the 24 car, crew chief Rudy Fugel. And then we have the 34 car of Todd Gilliland, whose crew chief is Chris Lawson. And then we have the guy who, in my opinion, shouldn't even be in the Cup Series, but he's there because his dad's got a lot of money and helped the organization. 35 car of Riley Herbst. His crew chief is Davin Restivo. 38 car of Zane Smith, whose crew chief is Ryan Bergenti. And they're making a Cars 4. Andrew, I'm glad you told me that because I have not even seen a preview for it. I loved the very first Cars. After that, I ain't cared for them, but I have not even seen a preview for Cars 4. Maybe I'll see one in the next couple of days. I'll definitely be watching more TV now that NASCAR is about to start. 41 car of Cole Custer, whose name always makes me hungry because it sounds like cold custard. His crew chief is Aaron Kramer. The 42 car of John Hunter Nemechek, he has Travis Mack. The 43 car of Eric Jones, he has Justin Alexander. The 45 car of Tyler Reddick, he still has Billy Scott. The 47 car, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., it's his last year for that organization. I don't think he'll re-sign with them. I think Ricky's a better driver than driving for that team. But his crew chief is Mike Kelly. The 48 car, last year of his contract, Alex Bowman. His crew chief is Blake Harris. I think if Bowman doesn't win at least 2 times this year, he won't be retained because we know that Hendrick is the best team in NASCAR. And Byron wins a lot of races. Elliott wins a lot of races. Larson wins a lot of races. And Bowman just can't seem to win a race. And I don't see Hendrick keeping you around when you can't win a race. The 51 car, Cody Ware, whose crew chief is Billy Plorday. 54 car of Ty Gibbs, he has Tyler Allen. The 60 car, the guy that looks like a young Randy Orton, Ryan Preece, whose crew chief is Derek Finley. 71 car of Michael McDowell, who has Travis Peterson. The 77 car of Carson Hocevar, he has Luke Lambert, and I swear Luke Lambert's been crew chief for about 97 guys throughout the years. The 88 car, first full-time year in the Cup Series, Connor Zilich. He has Kyle Busch's old crew chief, Randall Burnett. And then the guy that changed his number, but everything else stayed the same. Won 5 races last year, all road courses. He's now driving the 97 car. That is Shane Van Gisbergen. And his crew chief is Steven Duran. Any thoughts on any of this? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My neighbor's son went to college to study street and highway construction. He is a Rhodes Scholar. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over,